everybody. It's time for episode 274 of Talking with Topher. Happy 4th of July. And let's get this party started. Well, it is July 3rd, 2025. And as always, I'm so happy to be alive. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers out there. You're the reason I keep coming back week after week. If you're new, remember to subscribe. If you want your opportunity to tell your story or be on the podcast, talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. It's the official email of the podcast. Send an audio, video, or type it out. And that Linktree link, it's in the description below the video, along with all the links discussed in this episode today. All right, so let's get into the podcast. So, everybody, it is the 4th of July tomorrow for all of you, and I keep recording early and forgetting to say certain things. So, happy 4th of July, everybody. I finally got a holiday or something in. Oh, man, it has been crazy. I have no time, and, yeah, that's the way life is right now. So, just battling it out, working on myself day in, day out. Going to jiu-jitsu barely any days of the month. So about 3 times a month is what I've actually think I've been capable of doing. Not this month, but yeah, it's been really tough. And I do have to admit that my temper's coming back. So I am now working on that again because unfortunately what I'm doing today does not allow me to do what I was doing before. And I have to find another way to cap this thing so I don't wind up sliding down the hill that has taken so long to get up. Yeah, that's what I meant. So, I don't know. Other than that, man, everything has been just going. I hope everything is going well or going for you out there. I fell asleep on the couch and woke up and crushed my glasses. So if these things are all over the place, that's why. Very, very annoying. But what are you going to do, man? You don't have enough time to get A, B, and C done, so you try to pull off the last thing at the end of the night. You fall asleep on the couch, you knock your glasses off, you wake up, and you step on them. It's the perfect storm, everybody. Not that I got another $200 to spend on glasses, but we're going to figure it out because these things are super broken now. So, yeah. But anyways, that's what's going on there. That's what's going on with me. I hope everything is going well with all of you out there. And just remember, please don't try to hold anything tightly in your hand while you light it off. Please try and keep all of your digits this 4th of July. But now we're going to get into what's going on today in the world. And my first thing that I got going on is obviously the riots, because the riots are crazy. We're all wondering what is going on in California, what is going to happen next. Look, everybody, I don't know if this is going to be true or not, but man, does it not feel like a civil war is going to break out in that state. I mean, do we really need this shit right now? But has he gone too far by sending in the help that he has to supposedly, keep the violence at bay? And were these riots actually paid and bought for? Supposedly, these riots were paid and bought for. So let's check this out because this is wild and it's Walmart, dude. It's Walmart. I don't know. Could this be true? Man, if it is, it's wild.
This is wild. A mysterious black truck just passed out all of these expensive bionic face shields to protesters in LA, and the news caught it on camera. I zoomed in and found out this is the UVEX bionic shield. These are not cheap. They're around $45 to $65, and you can't just get them in bulk. But one place that sells them is Walmart. And why is that important? Because there's a new protest being promoted called No Kings on June 14th. And even celebrities like Chrissy Teigen are posting it. And it's in magazines and newspapers. And guess who's behind this message? Christy Walton. That's right, one of the billionaire heiresses, a part of the Walmart family. Now, I don't know why they would be behind that protest against President Trump, but remember, just less than 3 weeks ago, President Trump tweeted about the whole tariff situation, saying Walmart should stop trying to blame tariffs as the reason for raising prices throughout the chain. Walmart made billions of dollars of last year, far more than expected. Between Walmart and China, they should, as is said, eat the tariffs and not charge valued customers anything. I'll be watching, and so will your customers.
I read that tweet, and man, I was like, holy shit, they should. And this is what I've been saying for months, if not years now, with all the, the price increases and the inflation and everything. It was all fucking BS, everybody. It was BS. And they should. They should be able to eat these tariffs with them making massive fucking profits. I've been screaming about this for almost 2 years, and finally it's being said they're retaliating because they don't like the fact that they were told to eat something that they could afford, and instead they dumped it on us and fucking emptied all of our pockets. It's BS, everybody. It's such BS. And I know I'm starting out hot first 10 minutes, but I don't care.
So, is it possible that maybe the Walmart family didn't like that and now they're finding ways to make their voices heard? Or is this just a big coincidence? As always, let me know what you think.
I do not believe in coincidences. I don't believe in them at all. They are 100% absolutely pissed off that he pulled the curtain back. He pulled the curtain back and was like, you guys made billions of dollars. You can absolutely afford to eat those tariffs, and you're choosing not to. You're choosing to pick the American people's pockets, and it's bullshit, everybody. It is absolutely bullshit, and it's so upsetting because it's what I said. It's what I said. They're doing it because they can, because they had inflation to land on. They had this to land on. So they got away with it. And he called them out for it. And now they're doing this protest called No King. Look, everybody, I don't know what everybody is thinking right now, but there is no way an 82-year-old man is going to stay in office. We just got one out. I don't care how cognitive he is. I don't care how well he can still speak. I don't care. He's going to be 82 at the end of this. He can't stay there, right? So why is everybody saying that he's not going to get out of office? There's no way he can stay. He already served one term. He got to finish out this term, and then he's done. There's no way we're going to keep him. There's no way that our government is going to allow him to stay there. Like, it just can't happen. Why do we think that he is going to be this dictator king / thing? Like, because there's rumors about him wanting to stay in office longer than he should. There's rumors about him doing a third term. I just don't believe it, everybody. I don't believe it. Now, do I believe that he could be our last president because something is going to happen? Because we keep talking about 2027 and 2030 as being like the end all be all. So is it possible that something catastrophic happens and he does end up being our last president? That could be possible. It could be a transfer of power that, I don't know, something ends up happening and the transfer of power can't happen. I don't know. We can't see the future. But, I mean, an 82-year-old man can't stay in office either. So we got to figure this out. Now, something that I did think that was going to happen was the speed limit going up. So what I have come across is they have now banned the speed enforcement cameras passes the House committee. So I was talking about all these speeding cameras going up everywhere and how they were catching people and it was more accurate. And I thought it was going to become a thing. And now the House has passed a bill stopping and banning these cameras because they're finding it to be, Louisiana legislator has found it to be a problem because, again, it's not somebody catching you. It's just a digital component. And so, therefore, they have banned the cameras in, what was that, Mississippi? Louisiana, I'm sorry. They banned the cameras in Louisiana, so stopping them from being able to distribute them and utilize them on the highways and anywhere else. So, I mean, I guess this was something I didn't anticipate. So instead of falling under this, we'll watch this video just so we can see what they say about getting rid or banning these cameras.
A bill at the Louisiana Capitol could have a big impact for drivers in Shreveport. It has to do with traffic camera citations. KSA News 12's Donna Kia followed the House Transportation Committee meeting today and joins me in studio. Donna, what is going on? It's been a lingering issue for quite some time now, hasn't it?
Yeah, Chris, definitely. You may remember back in March, the Shreveport City Council voting to put speed enforcement cameras in areas outside of the school zones, which already has them. Well, Senate Bill 99 could have an impact on that plan. If passed, it would ban speed cameras outside of school zones. This morning, Shreveport's mayor was down at the Capitol discussing this bill.
Okay.
Speed cameras. We have created an industry here in this state around what I feel is an unconstitutional act, and that is sending you a ticket in the mail for speeding.
It takes a long journey for a bill to become a law, but after passing through a House committee today, a ban on traffic camera citations, including a school zone exception, is one step closer. In the House's Transportation Committee today, Shreveport Mayor Tom Arsenault and CAO Tom Dark testified. They talked about school zone cameras and said they are an effective way of changing behavior.
So we would strongly encourage you to defeat this bill today. We think we are doing a good job locally. We did what you asked us to do a year ago. We are still going to do that.
Mayor Arsenault discussed manpower shortages with the police. He said they would need 70 officers in the city's 70 school zones.
I wish that I could take the money and simply add police officers. Unfortunately, they're not those people available, and they are not people that we can immediately hire to fill those positions. We run substantially short.
Dark says they are getting about 50% less revenue than the first year. State Representative Stephen Jackson says he doesn't like to see programs reliant on fines because once speeding drops off, you have to find another way to make up the revenue.
This is generating revenue for the city of Shreveport. However, what we feel is the existing program that is in place is sufficient enough. Going full scale, parish-wide, citywide, with the ability to do these enforcement cameras, citizens just are not there yet.
So, as you can see, you know, I guess it is unconstitutional, which I don't remember if I agreed on that or not, but I mean, we need them in the school zones, right? There's not enough police officers. You're not going to be able to hire enough police officers. I mean, when you have an industry that is looked at by most of Americans as a negative thing, and the more Americans that feel that way, the less Americans you have that want to be police officers. So the shortage is just going to get shorter. It's just the way it is. Maybe if cops were actually good people and did what they were supposed to and actually helped us and, you know, actually protected people instead of just treating them as something that they can make money from by throwing them in jail for any fucking reason that they feel that is right, maybe then we would have more people wanting to be cops today. But since they're all fucking douchebags and they don't give a shit about any of us and they only care about whatever they care about, you know what I mean? Arresting you for this, planting this on you, doing this, whatever, you know, looking for a good time. Maybe then, you know, people wouldn't look so down upon them. But, I mean, it just is the way it is. You guys have put yourself in this position where you are looked at as negative. And I don't think you can ever come back from that because of the simple fact that it's just gone on for way too long. And more people that are coming up today, if I had kids today, I would tell them not to trust cops. I would. I don't give a shit. Cops petrify me. I get PTSD from it. But again, a lot of that shit was my own fault. But we're also, you know, trying to fight off, you know, the digital currency and other things that they're trying to implement. And eventually these things are going to come to fruition. They're going to be placed in the law and we're all going to deal with it because eventually all the people that disagree with it get too old to care about it anymore, including myself. So, I mean, it's just it's an interesting thing. So what people are doing, instead of worrying about the cameras and the speeding, now we have another state that has decided to, the House changes direction and passes an interstate speed limit bill. So look, they're like, all right, fine. We don't want your cameras. We think this is ridiculous. We don't have enough cops to catch these people speeding. So we're just going to increase the speed limit.
Speed limit changes on the interstate are back on the table in the legislature. House members reversed their decision this morning and instead passed a bill to increase the interstate speed limit from 75 to 80 miles per hour. It also calls for a study on the driver's license point program. 8 representatives flipped their votes.
And we did find a way to find efficiency, to consolidate the speeding tables, to find a little more deterrence without getting out of hand.
See? So that's, I don't know, it's really interesting to me. They're like, you know what? These cameras are unconstitutional. We don't have enough law enforcement. We're just going to up the speed limit. And I think we're going to see this more and more because the less cops that are on the road, the less police officers, the less state troopers, they're going to have to do something where, you know, it eliminates the amount of employees that they don't have. You know what I mean? So I think we're going to start seeing this more and more. I think we're going to see 65s go to 70s. I think we're going to see 70s go to 75s. I think we're going to see a lot of speed limit increases across the country if they don't want to enforce these speed limit cameras to catch people speeding at the speed limits that we're at today. But that's one of the other things I was worried about with the cameras was the simple fact that, hey, if you got this camera set that anybody over 1 mile an hour is speeding, then, man, you are generating a lot of false funds. But, I mean, if you're being realistic with it and it's catching people going 9 to 11 miles over the speed limit, you know, somewhere in between there, I think 11 is more fair. 9, you know, you're still under the speed limit realistically. But, you know, that if you were to bump it up to 11, I guess if the camera was catching you going 11 miles over the speed limit, that would be considered fair. But it does seem like it's going to be an uphill battle trying to get this passed. And is it the best thing that we can do? Is it really a good thing? I don't know, but I do believe that people need to slow the fuck down on the roads, man. They really do, you know, or start paying attention at least. Please just start paying attention, and maybe the speeding wouldn't be such an issue if we could just get off our phones. You know what I mean? So hopefully we can, correct this, and we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Now, FDA announces major policy shift on annual COVID-19 shots for healthy adults and children. I'm just going to jump into the video on this one. Like I said, we're going to kind of rapid fire through
Dr.
this.
Todd Ellerin, familiar face here at 430 on News Center 5, Chief of Infectious Diseases at South Shore Health. Happy Friday. It's great to see you. Good to see you, Eddie. As you know, vaccines have been a frequent target in the debate about autism. So we'll build a base first. Tell us again, what does the science show?
The MMR vaccine does not cause autism. Unfortunately, back in 1998, there was a study that was unfortunately a fraudulent study that showed that there was a link between MMR and autism. That study has been retracted.
Right.
But still, there's a lot of skepticism, vaccine skepticism with the MMR and with other vaccines because of this. But the bottom line, the problem is we do need to find out the cause of autism. It's probably not one cause. There's probably genetic components, there may be environmental components. Right. I'm glad to see that we're going to have more research, but we have to get beyond the MMR vaccine, which has been proven in the United States and around the world to not be linked to autism.
And you know, but measles, mumps, and rubella, if you don't know what MMR stands for. So we've talked about the measles outbreak, and we just have some new numbers. Let's put them up on the screen because we're a country of a lot of people, but there are 712 cases, which isn't a large number, right, for this country. But there are now 712 confirmed in 25 states, so that's half the states in the union, and 2 deaths in Texas. They're both in Texas. So what can you tell us about those patients?
Well, unfortunately, the 3 deaths were in patients that were unvaccinated. And, the vaccine, remember, a single dose, 93% effective, 2 doses, 97%. So when you look at these 700 plus cases, almost all of them are in unvaccinated cases. There have been a handful of patients that have gotten 1 or 2 doses of vaccine, but remember, again, we're talking about a tiny percentage of those who have been fully vaccinated who have gotten this. So the vaccine works.
Just out of curiosity, has a fully vaccinated person ever died from the measles?
Right, it's fascinating. There's never been a death, at least that I can tell, and I've sort of scourged the medical literature, that have gotten 2 doses of the MMR. Now, there has been an immunocompromised patient that got 1 dose of the vaccine and died, but remember, we've only seen a handful of deaths in the past 20 years.
Right.
So it's rare, but the vaccine works.
But before I let you go, one last question about vaccine, and this is COVID. So we've talked about that ad nauseum for the last 5 years. Protection wanes over time. Obviously, last year the CDC recommended a spring booster for older adults. What about this year?
The recommendation has stayed. So basically, if you're elderly, if you're moderate to severe immunosuppression, you want to get a dose essentially in the spring and a dose in the fall. Now, again, why do we do that? Because, like you said, immunity wanes, and we know that these groups have a higher risk of hospitalization. Again, I think it's important that we continue to study this. I think more study needs to be done, but at this point, the CDC recommends 2 doses for those groups.
Definition of elderly is?
They're saying 65 and older.
All right.
I don't know, everybody. All right, so 65 and older, fine. That's fine. Look, people who are not getting vaccinated for measles, you're crazy. Okay? I'm sorry. There are certain things that you should be getting vaccinated for. Okay? But I think the mRNA for the COVID is no-go for kids, women who are pregnant, and healthy adults. Elderly, comorbidities, okay. I mean, is it really going to hurt you? I don't think so. But it could. I think they wanted to make this thing a household name. They managed to do it. I don't believe in it. I got it. I regret it. I got nothing positive to say or think about it. I really don't. Until the day that we have enough research behind it. But that's why they did what they did. Because now they can get enough research, right? Now we all know how to say mRNA. And we all think we know what it means, don't we? But so we'll see what happens. But if you're not getting like tetanus, measles, tuberculosis, I mean, if you're not vaccinating yourself on at least the basic 8 that we used to do back in the early 80s, maybe early 90s, those vaccines around there even earlier, those are the ones that we know that stuff was working, right? We've eradicated those diseases, and now they're slowly creeping back. And as you heard, it's amongst unvaccinated people for these particular diseases or viruses. So I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I am somebody who just wants a lot more research on something that you tell me is supposed to help, but we saw what it did, and yet you're still hiding behind that curtain, and it's just not working as much anymore. But the measles is no joke, everybody. So, I mean, I know everybody's worried about autism, but right now, I feel like it's something that we're not going to really be able to avoid. I think it's just here. I know it's increasing, but I feel like that's more of the food industry's fault. Yeah, that's where I lean on it anyways. Hey, Moderna, newly approved mRNA shot is literally named after a violent death. Huh? What? Why? Moderna's the one I got, by the way. So, as most of you know, the FDA just approved mNeXtSpike, Moderna's next-gen COVID-19 mRNA shot without a single placebo-controlled trial. This directly contradicts recent public assurance from HHS that all new vaccines will undergo safety testing in placebo-controlled trials prior to licensure. Well, of course they did. So, breaking, FDA goes rogue. Dude, what the fuck is this shit? Approves Moderna's next-gen COVID-19 mRNA injection without placebo-controlled trial. All new vaccines will undergo safety testing in placebo-controlled trials prior to licensure, recent HHS statement. So they literally came out with a statement and then went against it. What? Oh my God. So let's see what this is. Highlights of prescribing information. These highlights do not include all information needed to use mNeXtSpike safely and efficiently. See full prescribing information for mNeXtSpike. mNeXtSpike quotation. What are those things called? Parentheses. COVID-19 vaccine mRNA injectable suspension for intramuscle use 2024 to 2025 formula, initial U.S. approval 2025. Serious adverse events were reported by 2.7 of participants who received the mNeXtSpike and 2.6 of participants who received the competitor vaccine through a median follow up to 8.8 months. Next, Latin. Death, especially violent or unnatural death. So they're calling it mDeathSpike. So the next Latin definition of that word is death, especially violent or unnatural death. So yeah, they're calling it the mDeathSpike. Dude, I don't even know what to make of this. Besides the fact that I completely and absolutely disagree with it. Like I said, I think this is it's an experiment. And unfortunately, I did make myself a part of it. I am well aware of that, which is why I speak about it so much. And I don't care what anybody thinks about what I say, because I just feel like I have the absolute right to speak this way about it. So I don't know about it. It's It's literally called the mDeathSpike, and I don't believe in the COVID-19 vaccine for almost anybody. I really don't. Give me 10 to 20 years of data before you bring this back to market. They literally should have wiped it off of the fucking market, put it back into its little block that it was in, and they should wait another 10 to 20 years before they try to distribute this shit, is what they should do. And they're not going to do it, and they're going to keep coming up with more of this bullshit trying to sell it to us. They really are. So it's ridiculous. Chinese humanoid robots get reality check in half marathon debate. So they had a ex-humanoid T. Kung Ultra Robot won the world's first half marathon for humanoid robots in China. 6 out of 21 Chinese robots completed the world's first half marathon, 21.1 kilometers, for humanoid robots in Beijing on April 19th, with the winner setting a record time of 2 hours and 40 minutes. Over 12,000 people participated in the marathon on the same day. The human winner reached the endpoint in 1 hour and 2 minutes. So they were defeated. They were defeated, everybody. And unfortunately, it was a tough lesson for the humanoid to learn. But we just haven't gotten the joints or the mobility on these things done in the proper amount of time. The second runner-up was Droid Ups X02, finished the race in 4 hours and 50 minutes. It wears boxing gloves. So I guess that was so you could tell which one it was. Let's watch the video. Whoa, look at it run. Those guys are like jogging pace behind it. Oh, look at that little thing. So these poor people are stuck jogging. Oh, look at this thing. It just falls over. They're like, no. Get up, little buddy. Get up, little buddy. It couldn't make it. Oh, wow. That one just crashed. Silly shit, dude. Silly shit. But we're trying to compare them to ourselves right now, right? We're trying to see how close we are. And as you can see, a human finished the race in 1 hour, 2 minutes, and a humanoid did it in 2 hours and 40 minutes. So they are an hour and 38 minutes behind us, or 36 minutes behind us. So they're still behind us, everybody, which I guess you could look at as a good thing, because I wouldn't want them to be that more advanced than us right now. I mean, if they could outrun us right now, I would be worried. So I'm not as worried as I once was. It does seem like it's going to be okay. They still have a lot of catching up to do, but woo, crazy stuff, man, right? I mean, it's just wild. All the things that they are catching up on and how advanced they are, and the things that they still need to catch up on, and the stuff that they literally are struggling to figure out to keep up with us. It's pretty cool. It's mostly all motion. If anybody else has been noticing that, it's just the way we run, the way we move, the way we do things. They just can't do it yet. But I mean, all the thinking and the basic maneuvers that we do on a daily basis, it seems like they got that shit like down pat. All of our working, the stuff we do at our jobs and this and that stuff is coming relatively quickly to the humanoids, but all the physical stuff that we do for fun or for recreation, that seems to be the stuff that it's struggling with. You know what I mean? But check this out. This is a 30-year-old warning video. This thing popped up, got sent to me. Super, super cool, dude. This is wild. Lost recording. This 30-year-old video leaks every secret about today's world.
Are the foods modified? Tomato, potato, asparagus, broccoli, cauliflower, almost all the basics are purposely And as you know, they have a terminator seed now too.
Yes.
Because the farmers can't plant seed, you can't plant seed now unless you buy it from the government. They come up one season and they're gone, which means they're already modified. Watermelons down here with seedless watermelons. I wouldn't even touch a watermelon with no seeds out. But if you breathe, what are you going to breathe? You can't call it air anymore. We breathe something that is overtaxing our body with toxins that we're trying to get through the day on. We have chemical sprays being sprayed over 245 major cities in the United States, and all over our planet now is an electronic metal smog. And I can tell you why that's done too. We have these Gwyn towers that they have erected, which are also perpetrating that continuing thing. We have HAARP programs, High Frequency Active Aurora Research Project. We have ELATA over in Russia, Electrified Atmospheric Discharge. We have ISACAT, European Scattered Radar manipulation. All these things are broadcasting billions, I didn't say millions, combined billions of watts of amperage of ionic electrified air particles into the air. We are breathing now titanium, aluminum, barium, non-human T cells, all kind of other things that's being sprayed from ships that aren't supposed to be there. So you have metal particulation in your system. You have electrified air, which is poisonous in your system. And then whatever else that the smokestacks and the exhaust from cars are there too. Unless you can clean that out, your body's not only going to age very quickly, the cells are going to deteriorate, and you're not going to function on the heights you should be. That's why most people are running around I call them comatose, dumbed down, brainwashed, vaccinated, inoculated, and encrypted. Any two of which makes you unusable to a society that's trying to develop.
Heard those names before. But encrypted is
chipped. You go to the wrong, shouldn't you say this on TV? Let's put it away. Wrong lab that's making a prosthetic device, whether it be from your teeth or leg, they probably put a chip in. Unless you're very careful. The food you eat is probably encrypted. If you have any vaccinated, you are encrypted. If you're in armed services, you're encrypted. They're trying to control a whole populace, and this is the best way to do it. Anytime anybody invades underneath your skin, 9 times out of 10 now you're encrypted. If you're not encrypted, you're probably mind controlled. There's so much going on now, Doc. I sound like I am psychotic. I'm not. And I'll never say I'm crazy. I'm neurotic. My neurosis grows with the psychotic behavior of people and the apathy of people, the ennui of people who don't seem to understand what's going on. That's frightening to me. Because we're a planet trying to come under control. We're a populace, black and white, brown and yellow, that is under mind control, dying right off the bat, being experimented with, and we still don't get it. Those who have been dumbed down, comatose, brainwashed, inoculated, vaccinated, encrypted, any two of which takes them out of a usable society at this time, can't understand that. So they will fight the masters' wars, they will fight the globalist wars, they will take the globalist shots, they will let the globalists in the state raise their children, and we all sink. But the point is, again, the globalists are on their way out. That's why they're acting so crazy, but you watch my words. Their time is short. Consciousness is long.
Holy shit. If that really was from 30 years ago, that is wild, because that's exactly what's happening today. Exactly what's happening today. This is what they want, everybody. It's what they want, man. Oh my God. One world order. You will have nothing. You will be happy. And don't worry. Don't worry. We'll take care of everything. We'll raise your children. We'll give you what you need to survive. All you have to do is completely surrender to everything I say. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. Nope. So this one here is just a photo, but I wanted to read the caption. It's got Andrew Schultz, Bernie Sanders, and Hillary Clinton in the picture. And this is what it says. Bernie Sanders just said the quiet part out loud, and Andrew Schultz got it all on tape. In one of his most brutally honest interviews ever, Sanders admitted Democrats are a threat to democracy. He even pulled back the curtain on being robbed in 2016 and revealed his thoughts on a 2028 run. Now, how old is Bernie? Are we going to be doing the exact... Why are we hiring all these fucking old motherfuckers, man. Anyways, that's just my own 2 cents. Watch the clips. You've never seen Bernie speak like this before. Now,
what's up, everybody? Welcome to Flagrant. Our guest today is one of the only people in politics who hasn't traded conviction for convenience, and somehow he is still here. For decades, he has stood in the middle of the storm, unbought, unbossed, untethered, saying what so many were too afraid to say, that working people deserve dignity, that healthcare is a right, that the system isn't broken, it was built to screw you over. He has been mocked, sidelined, betrayed, and that's just by his own party. And still, he shows up, not for power, not for fame, but because he actually gives a damn. In a country drowning in cynicism.
We're going to tinker around the edges, make a little bit of a change here. Trump says the whole goddamn system is broken.
Yeah.
But he said, I will fix it.
Yeah.
Well, his solutions will make it worse. But he at least acknowledged it.
Yes. Ostensibly, there hasn't been a fair primary for the Democrats since 2008. Are they not also a threat to democracy? Yes. We often hear...
Fair enough. That is, yeah, I'm not going to argue with that point. And that's why I'm proudly an independent. What we're trying to do now, and I will just reinforce the point both of you made. The hatred that we felt in 2016, 2020 from the Democratic establishment. I'll give you an example. We would do rallies and we have thousands of people, often young people, people of color coming out, working class people coming out. They were great, full of energy. Yeah. And then we go to Democratic Party events. There'd be a few hundred people, mostly older, whiter, wealthier. And you saw the clash. And the establishment did not want to open the door. They hated the idea that all these people whose hands were a little bit dirty, who didn't have PhDs or weren't wealthy, imagine walking in, it's my party, man. You ain't getting in.
Yes.
We will fight you in the most ruthless ways that we can. And that's the struggle. Are they going to open the door? Or are they prepared to lose elections, literally, and maintain
the status quo?
Go down with the Titanic. So
that is. Do you think you're forcing the door open? Because it seems like that's what's happening right now.
Exactly what we are trying to do right now. In the last month, we have enlisted some, I think, the latest 7,000 people who are prepared to run for office, from school board to Congress.
Wow.
Not all of them will run, but they've shown interest. There are training programs that we're undertaking with other groups right now. And by the way, a good percentage of them don't want to run as Democrats. They want to run as independents.
So do you sense from the Democratic establishment that they're more willing to listen to people like you, or are you guys just going to have to kind of take it by force and win elections?
Are they, well, I don't want to, are they more willing to listen to me? No, they're not.
But they'll take on some of your ideas for salvation. Yeah. They realize
often
they can't ignore it.
Often lip service.
Yeah.
Yes, they will take on the ideas, but these guys, they want to protect what they have.
Of course they do. They always want to protect what they have. Look, that is an hour and 24-minute podcast. I just gave you about 2 minutes of it. And if that is the way that the Democrats are thinking, and they are literally forcing their party to change. They're literally forcing their party to go independent because they don't want to be on the Democratic side anymore, because they don't feel the way that the Democrats feel, where everybody has to have a PhD and be or a bachelor's or a master's or this or that. And so, therefore, they go independent, destroying the Democratic Party, because the people that are in the Democratic Party today may actually be open-minded to people who don't have that strong of an education. Most people coming up today are graduating high school, and that's it. Who wants to go into debt for college? The only reason some people go to college today is because they got a little bit of a free ride. Or maybe they're actually going into an industry where college is necessary. I hope the job is there for you when you're done. But there is a large percentage today that have watched their parents pay these college bills, and they're still paying them today, struggling Do you think any of those kids want to put themselves in that position? They don't. So you're going to have a lot more people that have no bachelors, no masters, no PhDs, and yet the Democrats are going to be like, no, we want nothing to do with you. Well, that's fucking stupid, and no wonder the independent party is starting to grow. I've always wanted the independent party to grow. I am an independent. But unfortunately, the independent party is always stomped on. It's a very small percentage, and no matter how much you vote for them, doesn't really seem to get a leg up. But maybe if the Democratic Party destroys themselves and a lot more people from the Democratic Party start moving towards the independent party, maybe we could finally have an independent party and move away from what we've all known, which is this red and blue bullshit that neither side really gives a shit about any of us. So wouldn't it be nice to finally have somebody in office that actually gave a shit about us? It would be. And I've always thought the independent party was the one that was there for us. So, you know what? Keep destroying yourselves from within, because I think the independent party will be the better party anyways. I've always said red and blue suck. We need to go purple. Let's just blend it all together and change everything, man. I really feel like a full reset would be great. Nobody can die in the chairs anymore. Get all the dinosaurs out and get fresh blood in there that thinks a little bit more with what's going on today instead of constantly trying to shove our past down our throat. I think that would be better. All right, so this is a super creepy statue. It's a 500-year-old statue of a man eating a sack of babies in Bern, Switzerland, and nobody is sure why. Dude, this thing is creepy. Okay, so I got a little bit more information on this thing. It is Kein Liefreson Bernennen. I think I pronounced that incorrectly, but Child Eater Fountain is a painted stone fountain at the Kornhaus Plates, Granary Place in Bern, Switzerland. It is one of the old cities of Bern's fountains from the 16th century, everybody. This is crazy. Wow. It was created in 1545 to 1546 by Hans Ging to replace a wooden fountain from the 15th century. The new fountain's original name was Plazabrunn, which meant Plaza Fountain. The current name was used first in 1666. Kindeli is a Swiss-German diminutive for the German word kind, meaning child. A literal translation of the name Kind Liefrechen Brunnen, therefore, would be the fountain of the eater of little children. What? So the translation of the name Kind Liefrechen Brunnen, therefore, would be fountain of eater of little children. That is so weird, dude. Interpretations. Let's just read out the interpretations real quick. That's wild. The fountain sculpture depicts a seated orc devouring a naked child placed at his side in a bag containing more children because the orc is wearing a pointed hat resembling a Jewish one. Oh. It has been speculated about the possibility of the orc being a depiction of a Jew as an expression of blood libel against Jews. Another theory is that the statue is a likeness of Krampus, the beast-like creature from the folklore alpine countries thought to punish children during the Christmas season who had misbehaved, according to other theories in the depiction of Greek god Cronus eating his children, the Roman Saturn eating the months through Cronus should have 6 and Saturn 12 rather than the sculpture's 8. Huh. So they just think it was one of those statues. And yeah, I mean, they used to have wooden fountains. That's wild, dude. I mean, those must have rotted out like crazy, which was why somebody was like, we got to figure out a better way to do this. I have to keep rebuilding my fountain. And so they made it out of stone, and then some guy was like, yeah, I'm just going to make it, you know, it's eating children. You know, remember the story there? I'm just going to make this crazy fountain about this depiction of this story to scare the children. You know, scare them straight. That's what I'm doing. That's why the statue is there. That's my theory on it. They put it there to scare all the children into not being bad little children. Be good little children, or I'm going to feed you to that fucking fountain. Now, has anybody heard of this? This is a wild thing, man. I mean, everything's wild to me, but it is. It's out there. Friendship case is what this one is called. Check this out, everybody. This is pretty interesting.
It's called the friendship case. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
The story's so weird and bizarre, really hard to believe. In 1956, there was these Italian men apparently found this map of this castle that was close to them. They got there, and these two, they said they looked like humans, but they weren't. One of them was 10 feet tall, and the other one was 3 feet tall.
Stooges.
They were aliens. They went by W56. But apparently these alien people, they have these underground bases, they said. They've been here for centuries. They even have bases in the ocean. Their whole purpose of being on Earth is to save humanity from themselves, especially regarding nuclear bombs.
Yeah. Yeah, fair.
But apparently there's 100 witnesses to these people, and there's photo evidence and video evidence of them showing them their flying saucers. But they said the only way that their technology works is if there is friendship and love.
What?
So, like, if we're not experiencing love within humanity or friendship or compassion, they said our technology doesn't work.
That's really cute.
It's like Santa's sleigh.
But they said that there's another group of aliens that have been here since they've been here, the CTR. Basically, they're enemies. And it says they are described as materialistic and strictly scientific, more cold and calculated. Witnesses have depicted the CTR as human-like, often bald, and seen driving dark Mercedes limousines in Italy, reminiscent of the Men in Black phenomena reported elsewhere.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That is wild. So our technology runs off of friendship and love, everybody. Friendship and love. Without it, we're doomed. So as long as we have friendship and love, our technology is going to go on forever. But those CTRs, man, they're trying to take it down, trying to take it away from us by taking away everything and telling us that we'll be happy with nothing. But technology running off of love and friendship, so fucking weird, dude. It's so weird, but it's funny. It's funny. It's just like Santa's sleigh. Just like Santa's sleigh. But I thought that one was fun. That one was fun. So, this woman supposedly disappears after filming the launch of the new sun. Have you seen this? Supposedly, we're not looking at our sun anymore. It's a fake sun in front of our sun. Huh? What do you think? You tell me. I think it's fun. What? Here we go. Like, what is this? You can see a bright spot, and then all of a sudden, look at that. How does that happen? You can see the plume of debris and smoke underneath it, as if it's being launched. As if it's being launched. Look at the plumes of smoke underneath it as it goes up. And I mean, it's nighttime, and now it's daytime. That's why I let it play a few times, but that's absolutely crazy. And then Magilla sends in this picture, everybody, okay? This is taken from his fucking backyard, everybody. Now, could it be a reflection or something with the camera lens? I thought the same thing, but the more I stare at this picture, the less I think it's a lens issue, the more I think it's, I don't know, man. Did we send up something brighter than the sun to block out the sun, which is why we're having so many problems? This is something that is out there that I'm not 100% behind, but seeing this picture sent from him, taken behind his house less than 2 weeks ago, this was a little shocking. But hey, take a look at it. You tell me. I'll zoom in a little bit for you. You can see right here, there is another sun right next to the bright sun. It's not the moon, everybody. It's not the moon, right? The moon, if the sun is here, the moon is way over here, right? Not right next to the sun. So what is that? Is that proof that the video we just watched is actually something that we all call the sun, and it actually is not the sun, and it's exactly what they were hoping to do, was block out the sun's natural rays to shine down, I don't know, poisonous rays? I don't know. Why would you do anything like this? What is that? What was it? How did it go from day to night? What is this in this picture? Is it a lens issue? Is it an actual depiction between the real and fake sun? I don't know. But were you thinking about a fake sun a moment ago? Probably not. But if you are now we're having fun. See? So again, what is going on in our skies, everybody? What is going on in our skies? Look at this. This is another depiction, another one of a supposed second sun. Huh? I didn't even know. Thought our sun was the only one. Now I'm being told I was wrong.
Okay, look at this. The sunset is down here on Dorr Street. But what is this over here? What is that?
That is not a moon.
In the sky. They go to sunset down here. How can this be here?
So what is that? Are we just AIing everything now? I mean, I'm not going to not watch something that kind of blows my mind and be like, I mean, I could make that. I mean, you can make yourself a gorilla that's ice fishing that's having diarrhea on your friend in the boat. Like, it's crazy what we can do today with this AI stuff. So are these videos doctored? Are these videos fake? I don't know. I don't have a way to test them, everybody. I do not, and I'm not going to. But man, is it possible that somebody made a second sun and launched it into the sky? And why did they want to protect? Oh no, I'm sorry. Why did they want to block the actual sun with whatever this is? So obviously there's something that this thing is doing that, because now we can't look at the sun, right? People actually do talk about being able to look at the sun. And there was a lot less skin cancers and stuff like that. Now, nobody can look at the sun, and everybody's getting some type of fucking cancer from it. Is there a correlation? Or is it a coincidence? I don't know, everybody. But think about it, man. Lots of things are happening more than they ever have. Could it be the new sun? Could it be? Could it be the new sun? It might be. It might be. And here is my final for the day. I thought this was hilarious. No, this is not me turning myself into a gorilla, but this was sent to me and I was told that this is me in my truest form. So I had to play this because this is absolutely hilarious, everybody. It's so goddamn funny. I mean, I love these gorillas. They are so cool.
What's up, you fucking cowards? Today, me and Fuckface McGee are gonna be munching on some delicious-looking mushrooms we found covered in cow shit. All right, bud, let's fucking do this.
Dude, that tasted worse than the Yeti I slept with last week.
Holy shit. Dude, I'm fucking geeked out of my mind. Yeti! Yeti, where'd you go, man? I'm scared. Dude, I'm so fucking geeked. Those nasty-ass fucking mushrooms were fucking gas.
And those fucking mushrooms were gas. Those things are popping up everywhere. I mean, it's been what, a week or so now since those have come out. They are everywhere, and there are some really, really freaking cool ones. Whoever did this, this one was the last one I looked at was done by Invasion TA or something. So these things this is all AI. It's absolutely incredible. I showed you the baby Rogan and stuff like that. This is where we're at. So if I was not saying, hey, some of the stuff I might be showing you could be doctored, I mean, I would be an absolute idiot to not even remotely think that that could be possible today, because this stuff is crazy and I never thought I'd see it in my lifetime. So, this is why I kind of let everybody know that whatever we're looking at today, click those links, go check it out, and, add your own 2 cents in. Leave comments. I appreciate everybody who already does leave comments. I appreciate all of you. This podcast is super fun for me. It's a great escape from my reality. And I appreciate everybody who does check out the podcast. And as always, I do want to thank everybody for subscribing and doing all the things you do. You're the reason I come back week after week. All right. And then remember, if you're new to the podcast, to subscribe. All right. And if you want to tell your story, talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. Send an audio, video, or type it out. Linktree link, along with all links, are in the description below the video. And as always, I hope everybody out there has an amazing rest of your Thursday. Enjoy your 4th of July. Stay safe. Don't blow your digits off. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the weekend. Stay safe. And I will talk to you later.